Okay. Hello, hello. How are you?
I am awesome. How are you today?
Doing good. This is the last show of the year. So my name is Tanya Kelly. I'm your host for tonight. It is Empower Our Youth Community Corner. And tonight's special guest, I am just so excited to hear all the nuggets and the gems that she has for us. I have a daughter that is in college. I am a mommy. I'm a teacher. I'm trying to get better fitness from my leg injury. So she has all the components that we are going to need to start off our 2021 with a bang. And John, I'm sorry.
You okay?
My daughter is calling me. This is the first thing. Stop.
Family first.
Please first. So Miss Crystal, thank you for being on our show tonight. I'm so excited to have you. And I just want to talk to you more about who you are, and we're just going to jump right into it. So, I know COVID has really just taken over our lives, taken over the world. Can you just tell us what you have been doing to stay healthy, to stay safe during this COVID pandemic?
So for me, I implemented a thing called Miracle Morning. And what the Miracle Morning is that I wake up super early to do stuff that's for me. And then with that, my whole house is sleeping. And I'm able to meditate. I'm able to exercise. I'm also able to just do just things to have time with myself and journal. So with that, and then also like increasing my water intake, I've been doing that and making sure that I stay hydrated. So that's super important for us to do. And just really trying to be more introspective and figuring out what makes me happy.
And that's too. I think that water intake, I have water treatment, but I feel like I'm going to do that more in 2021. Again, my hair has started to grow because of the water intake and the natural sound that I've been using. And it has been, everyone keeps saying water, water, water. But what do you do to get that water out? What recommendation do you do, Crystal, to get that intake?
So what really helps me is starting my water intake super early in the day so that I can reach my goal. And then sometimes I may infuse it with fruit or just do like, okay, by this time I want to have this amount of water drink like intake by that time. So I used to have like a gallon water bottle. But that really didn't work for me. It's like, okay, I know this is 12 ounces. I want to drink it 10 times and fill it up. So I do that. And I like this cup because like I have lipstick on now. You can't see it with the straw. So this is some merch for my nonprofit. But I try to spice it up sometimes with some fruit and make it a little jazzier. But realizing that it has a lot of benefit for my body and inside and out, I just drink it.
Okay. So the water in there, there's kind of spice to that. So kind of moving, as we're dealing with the bombing, we had COVID, our students are virtual. Can you get somebody, I know I was always watching them, listening on your website and reading your website, all the different things that you said. As a mom, what is a balanced, healthy life? Like, can you give us 3 tips of a mom balanced, healthy life for 2021 that both jobs can do? That would help them, rejuvenate and reduce their spirit.
So I think as a mom, we definitely do a lot. We have children, so we have to do for others. The children didn't ask to be here, right? So we have to make some time for us. Now, for me, it's getting up super early when my house is still asleep to have like 2 or 3 hours for myself. But it could also be staying up later or finding little moments when the child is sleeping and make that time for you. But be introspective and figure out what makes you happy because you're the only one that can make yourself happy. And figure out what those things are and make that time to do those things. And then have a passion project or just something that fills your heart and give yourself some type of activity. It could be a fun workout class. Like I did a dancing workout class the other day, and I'm doing yoga journey with myself, and I'm starting a mommy challenge with a couple of moms, a couple of thousand moms next week. So it's like do something and find a community that you can surround yourself with virtually, so that you can, you're not on an island by yourself. there's other people out there, and we're all going through this pandemic together.
I'm talking about this is, I know it's off the topic, but this Clubhouse. I saw that you are now doing an early morning meeting with moms and ladies. Can you tell us more about this, this craze that is starting to happen all over the world? I'm an iPhone user, I'm an Android, so I'm not a pleasure user. But, a little bit more about Clubhouse and how they can find you and to be a part of that early morning meeting once, if you're an iPhone user.
Right, definitely Clubhouse is for early adapters and it's for Apple users. So I know someone who does have a non-Apple phone, but they have an iPad, so they join that way. So that's just another tip for you. But it's by invite only. If you do get on the wait list, like if I see you, if I know you, I can bring you off the wait list, and then I get invites periodically. But with Clubhouse, it's all audio. So like imagine we're speaking in a particular room or club or something like that, and I don't have to worry about what I look like. It's just my message, and it's different stages. Like a club is a little bit more permanent. A room is just a topic one day. So I like it because it's a lot of people networking there. It's a lot of people giving good information. Some people you may not normally have access to. Like there's different people that are in the limelight that you may see in different attributes on TV and movies and stuff like that. So it's really cool. Everybody's on the same plane there. And I like it because I'm networking with a lot of people, but I'm also able to share my gifts with more people than what I do on like Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on YouTube or something like that. And for me, I started a room that I do 3 days a week. It's called Miracle Morning, starting your day off with intention. I do it Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays. And we start at 5 a.m. and it's more of a me time room where you set your intentions. We have quiet time as people join and set their intentions. And then at the end of the hour, I do come in and kind of see where everyone's at. And it is more than just moms that came. It's more than just the U.S. I had someone from Switzerland that was in the group on Monday. And then I had some males come in too. So it's all different types of walks of life, ethnicities, locations, and stuff like that. And I really liked it. I really like it. It is definitely something that I've spent time on, as well as on Facebook and Instagram and all the other platforms. But I'm learning a lot. So I'm really happy that I was invited. Like I was told, like, hey, I want you to come on because you have a lot of knowledge that the community can learn from and obtain. So it's definitely a tool. Like if somebody wants and doesn't mind another platform to get on, then Clubhouse is something for you to explore. Got to get an invite though, right now.
I have to go get my invite. I got an iPad, so I have to get on that here so that I'm kind of like blue one. But that Miracle Morning would stood out to me, even though I wasn't on Clubhouse. I've been doing it also since you started. So it's that quiet moment time. And I think sometimes we forget about that, how to start your day. I'm always saying, even for myself, is how you start your day. And this week, I actually was watching your post and using it with my quiet time. And it really did. It gave me purpose. When things are starting to happen, as your day starts to get moving, it literally rejuvenated me and allowed me to have a better perspective. And for me not to always be hyped up all the time, allowed me to come in and just be kind of like, I won't say mellow, but just like on a different mind frame, mindset, and when things start to move, but kind of go back to the beginning of your day. What was your day looking like? So thank you for that, because again, I'm going to keep sharing it, that Miracle Morning, as they call it. Yeah.
Love it. And I'm happy you're following the posts. A lot of people have been commenting on the posts and giving me their feedback and saying how it's motivating them. And I do it for me, for accountability too. So it's like I talked about I'm gonna do it, I'm doing it, but then also share my thoughts. That's also a way for me to journal too. And then spread positivity too, because like today, my post was about me just appreciating the little things, like having heat, having a place to sit to watch the sunrise, having quiet, and just having my me time. And it's really cool. So check me out, join me, do it on your own. I'm here. And I do it 6 days a week. Sunday, I definitely sleep in.
Wow, I know. And for me also is to continue to we have like I would say let go and let God. So yes, this week has been really great to be a part of the Miracle Morning and to watch her post. So that kind of goes to what I want to talk about now, like your motivation. Like this. I'm not a college student. I went to college. I want to dive into your book. How to get a college degree for free. Crystal, I need for you to tell me how you got your degree for free. And what is that passion behind it? Because it's like, again, we got high school to get ready to graduate. And they're looking for that money. Even for myself, I'm looking for those financial resources. Talk to us about this book and how, what are the tips and tools, the gems that you can give us.
So I did bring it to show it. It's my book, How to Get a College Degree for Free. It definitely documents my journey on how I got not one, not two, but all three of my college degrees for free. And with that, you're able to learn the steps that I've taken and to understand that my path, I wasn't always a straight A student. Like there were times that I did get on the dean's list in college, but that was after failing physics in freshman year, you know? And then I had a speech impediment. I stuttered, and then I went to a speech therapist. I learned how to read at a later age. So it's a lot of different things you learn about me. And I share my journey so that people know that you can do whatever you put your mind to. And the fact that there's money out there for you to do what you want to do. In my book, yes, it has my journey, but it also has resources and tips. And it has thought-provoking questions for you. It has like a tracker you can start documenting your funding sources. It brings you through the whole process of what you should do. But then it also, the 5 top majors, when I wrote the book, are in there. And I start you off with resources for the 5 top majors of 2019, which doesn't really change as much from year to year. So that is a great starting point. And I want to have my book in everyone's home, like every family, because this is a book that can be passed down from generation to generation. Yes, for the point of this woman, this inner city youth from New York, from the Bronx, got her college degrees for free. But then also, if she can do it, you can do it. And it gives people hope. But then it also breaks that financial bind that we have sometimes when it comes to school, because people think the only way I can go to school is if I get loans or just scholarships. I just want to tell you, there's more than just scholarships and loans out there. And that's when I work with my clients on my one-to-one consulting basis, I work with them on their journey, on where they want to go, and, educate them on the different things that's specific to their journey, and just open their eyes to different things. Like my prince, he's 5. He's the king of kindergarten. There's things that I'm doing now to build up for him for when he goes to college. There's organizations that he could be a part of now, or when outside opens up, he will have a membership in it that will help build his network for that time. And there's a program that I'm a part of that I have benefits that he's a part of, and that every birthday they put in money for him for school. So it's just so many different out there. And since I wrote my book, I've been doing more and more research, because I know more things than just my journey now. And then I've been connecting with different people. For the people who are on my email list, I just sent the scholarship that went out this month for $600,000. I'm going to send out for my email list opportunity for internship program, a 6-week paid internship program. Yes, and during COVID. So there's a lot of resources that I'm sharing with my network. And then if you're a client with me, then I'm also sharing with you and working with you on your specific journey with your goals and stuff like that. So it's just a matter of I'm here to help, and I have a lot of resources, and I want people to go to school and not have to worry about that financial aspect, because I didn't have to worry about it. And that lifted a burden from me that I seen that was in people that I was connected with, like not knowing if they're going to even be able to go to school next semester, because schools would be like, okay, you don't have my money, then you can't continue. So I'm here to help, and I want you to raise your hand for help. I'm here. My website is here. And then I want you to be at peace when you go to school. If you're going to school from high school to college, or continuing in college, or if you want to go back to school, because with my 2 graduate degrees, I did a gap year in between, and I pursued my 2 graduate degrees while working full time. So it's possible.
It's like impossible, and that's why, again, just to hear that information is going to be, it's going to be a game changer because, again, with COVID, how things are happening, how the education world is changing. Everyone doesn't have that financial money. I mean, I'm starting to feel that myself as I'm moving into an empty nester. And, as an educator, I don't have those funds. So now things are starting to come out of pocket. So we are looking for those scholarships. And you're telling me that, it's not just scholarships. I can, part of different opportunities and organizations. And my grandchildren are kindergartners. Yes, I get to find out more about that information. So that's what fuels your passion, is helping others. Because again, I see your journey, and I want to talk about that underestimate knowledge. Never underestimate knowledge. Your nonprofit organization. Does that tie into your book? Or is that something that is a whole other passion of yours?
So it's kind of connected, right? Because for me, when I had the idea for my nonprofit, Never Underestimate Knowledge, 2 decades ago. When I was in college, I was the pre-college initiative chair for an organization called National Society of Black Engineers. So, because my undergraduate degree is in engineering. And I was mentoring, and I had some high school students on campus because I did a whole weekend thing for them to come. And I was sharing my journey with them, and they were like, you should, one, write a book about it. And I also had one of my best friends. She told me years after that I should write a book. But it was more about my financial journey because I had my house before 25, around 25. And, just making decisions that, I thought was best for me. Am I perfect? No. So it's always been a passion for me because I had people that sowed seeds in me throughout my life. There was an organization called Youth Activities Committee, YAC, in Co-op City in the Bronx, in New York, that I was busy 7 days a week with different things. So for me, back when I was in undergrad, I had the idea of having a leadership and learning development center. At some point, I didn't know when, because I was going to school for computer engineering. So I knew, like my parents taught me, go to school, go to college, you work for a company, you retire, and you enjoy life. Well, my dad worked, but had to retire early because of his health, and then wasn't able to enjoy the $1 million or so that he saved and worked hard for, that he always told me about his savings and stuff like that, because he had to spend it on his health. Then my mom did retire early and was able to enjoy her life. But when she passed away last year, and may I tell you that I started my book as well as my nonprofit at the bedside of my mom in ICU last year in October. So anything is possible. And like for me, I realized life is short. And my mom was always the type that helping people chaperone for this. Like the people know me at my Princess school. Like they know me. I'm very active. And the kids are like, yes, that's my Princess, his mom. Like, so, and then the other parents know me too, because I hold different responsibilities and just volunteer. So it is a passion for me, because even in work, because I do have a corporate job, I'm a corporate exec, and I'm also the founder and president of my nonprofit. I'm an author. I'm also, the CEO of my consulting business as well. So with work, I provide services to help my clients with process improvement for them to help to better their business. So they hire me to say, okay, this is my problem. Can you help me fix it? And then a job that I had a role was to provide a unique pipeline for our youth into the corporate world. So I had about 200 or so interns that came into my firm through my leadership from our partnerships that we had with nonprofits. And my youngest intern for the second year I had that national position was 14, working for a Fortune 500 company. So it's like I always find ways to try to align my life passion with what I'm getting paid for. If it works out, great. But for me, it is me helping people. That is my passion. In short, the answer is yes. But that gave you a little bit more color. Is my answer and the reason why.
Yeah, that gave you flavorful. But also you said with no children coming, what do you see at the very end as they move and they start going to college, they go into different areas of their life. You know, what is that motivation for you and that passion to give back? We always talk about, you know, that community is nonprofit, but at the end of the day, like, what is that final goal? You know, what are you looking for that student or for that youth that comes to you, or even someone like myself who is a new business owner? You know, what are some of those tips that you could provide for us, you know, who is now on this journey?
So for me, what fills my cup is that you're happy. You're not paying full price or anything at all for school. And that I also not only just help with funding, but I also help with skills on how to not just survive, but thrive. So I've made it through undergraduate. I've made it through graduate school. I've made it through working for Fortune 500 companies. I've made it through working on my own. Because, you know, the corporate world may not be for everyone. I've worked in different sectors. And I'm a female in STEM. And I'm on the executive level too. So it's like I wear different hats and I'm in different circles where I have resources and knowledge where if I don't have the answer, I know somebody who knows somebody who has the answer, and I'm not bashful in sharing that. I share my resources. I know some people have that crabs in the barrel mentality where they're like, no, this is for me. I'm going to wait till I get here and then I'll say what I did. Like, no, like I'm sharing my journey every day. You're seeing me go through what I'm going through every day throughout my miracle morning. Like you'll see if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see in my stories, I'm sharing some stuff and, just a lot of things you'll learn from me in addition to how you can get your college degree for free.
I get my daughter's education from free. So I want to go and get some fun things. Anybody some fun facts about Crystal? Give us some fun facts.
Fun facts or a fact? How many do you want? How many? You're on mute. Okay. Okay, so I thought of maybe 3, but I'm gonna push it to 4. So 1, I used to be a part of an orchestra. I played the viola. Now I know a lot of people may not even know what the viola is. It's a little bit bigger than the violin. I wish I would have kept up with it because for my wedding, one of the things I wanted was a hip hop kind of like pop culture person to play. And it didn't work out quite that way. And the person in the entertainment system I had, which is Untouchable Entertainment, I had DJ 007 and DJ Super. They were perfect. But I wish I would have kept up with it because my prince in his school, he was learning to play the strings as well as other instruments. So my dream is to one day we will play at a family function, maybe somewhere else, So the strings, that's 1. 2nd, I used to wear braces, but I had braces in junior high school and I had them on for less than a year. Like normally people had braces on for like years and you're like, oh dag, like it's year 4. You didn't take those out yet. My orthodontist was super advanced to a point where I had like a thing like Invisaligns in junior high school and I hated them because I wanted the what is that? The steel thing, that line for the retainer. So I didn't wear it as much. So, I may want to get something else. And I've been complimented on my smile, so I'm not self-conscious about it, but my teeth did shift a little bit. So that's fun fact number 2. Fun fact number 3 is I speak multiple languages. So I grew up in the Bronx. My neighbor was Jewish. My sister and brother are half Puerto Rican. I went to some schools, there are a lot of Latinos, and Spanish. That Spanish is the second language that I know. So habla español un poquito, aprende español en escuela de secundario y universidad. So I speak Spanish and it really comes out like a survival mode. If I travel to a Spanish speaking location, it's like, okay, Crystal, you got to speak Spanish. And I shocked some of my friends when we traveled when I was in college because they didn't know that. And I was very fluent in it. And it's like, it doesn't come out like if I'm in the States and I know people can speak English, I'll be like, okay, this translates to that. And then I'm thinking too much when I'm here. So, and then the reason why I've learned more languages is 1, because I went to Italy. And when I went to Italy, I didn't know Italian. So I was in Milan, the first stop on my Italy shopping tour, and I was speaking English, and boy, did they let me and my cousin have it. They had an attitude. So I learned from that trip because the tour guide, they did send us like the pamphlets to like speak common stuff, and we were like, we're Americans, they know how to speak English, we'll figure it out. And from that experience on, and the fact that I had to travel internationally with my corporate job, I was like, okay, if I travel anywhere, I'm going to learn the common language, learn how to say hello, how to here, please, and thank you, with the bathroom, all of that. So when I had to travel to Korea for work, and that was a cool trip. I went to Hawaii first. My mom was able to come with me. That was a beautiful trip. I thought about her coming to Korea, but it was just even a lot of stuff for me to go. So we didn't do the Korea leg. So it was me and my colleague, and I had another colleague that didn't come, but she was stationed in Korea at one point to teach me Korean. So imagine their faces when an African American female, looking pretty young by that ad, was in Korea, for one, and then secondly, kicking Korean to them. You know, so that blew their mind away and kind of blew my mind away too. And then my prince is in a language immersion school, so he's learning French. So we went to a trip 2 years ago, and he was the translator. Like I said, you know, the greeting in French and stuff like that. And they were like, "Ça va?" I said, "Oh, he's the translator." And he was 3 at the time, because he started learning French at 3. So French is another thing that I need to get my Duolingo on and learn. So I'm multilingual, and I'm open to embracing other cultures, because the beautiful thing about this world, we all have unique gifts, unique cultures and stuff like that, and I like to embrace it, just like I would want somebody to embrace me. And I respect others, and I have like projects too. As a global program manager for something, you know, just I need to stay relatable. You don't want to give people the excuse to count you out. They're not going to count me out, and if they count me out, if they bet against me, they're going to lose. And then there's a fourth one. I played tennis. I learned how to play tennis in junior high school, but I haven't been playing recently at all. But I still have my racket. I probably need to get a bigger one, but I have my racket.
My children at my school, I teach at a STEM school, and my students are from Somali. And so this is my second year at my school, and what you just said is a perfect where I'm wanting to learn Somali again, so that they'll understand, and so I understand who they are, their culture, their traditions, their language, because it becomes a language barrier when you're talking to their parents, and most of their parents speak their native language. And so this year we have Nepali, we have all of that Somali, Nepali, we have Mexicans, we speak Spanish. And so again, they're teaching me a few of these small words, like I said, thank you and please, and can I have this? And it really changes because it now opens you up for you to understand. They're like, oh, well, we really want somebody like us. So it opens up to have that relationship builder with parents as well as with their love, even with the kids, because now they're, like I said, they know now, oh, this girl wants to know my language, it's like, I have to learn there. So, yeah, I didn't actually learn a little bit of that myself, so that when I do start traveling again, I will be able to utilize that a lot, because I know they're going to the California, no English, so you can learn my language. So, great, thank you.
That's awesome.
And I have to, because again, we know that the physical development, and sometimes it's always good to like, like we're doing the gym that we had, we saw the side, the things that we do with our family. So, kind of on that same lines is, where do you want to go in 2025? What will be your one trip without anything happening? Just get on the boat, get on the plane, and go.
So for me, a place I would want to go if, post COVID, I would want to go back to Africa. So I went to Africa with my husband, and my sister-in-law, one of his friends came along. We did that before baby. And we went to Kenya. We went to the safari in Savo. I forget it was east or west. We hung out with the Maasai warriors. Like, we flew into Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, and then Malindi and Mombasa. So like I would want to go back to Africa and explore because recently I did like, tracing my DNA and I have a lot of tracing back in Africa and some of the spots I'm probably not going to be able to travel to because of what's going on over there, but to feel connected. And I would want to go on the coast to get to a beach because I love beaches. So I had a trip that was planned for my birthday this past year, but we know what happened. So that is to be continued to whenever it's a good time to go. But it would be Africa just to explore another place, another location in Africa, but then also to be more connected with the origin of my DNA and my people.
Yeah, my daughter, going to have to put my grandson is from Congo. That's one of her trips that she would like to take. My girlfriend here now in Nigeria, she loves to send me pictures. It is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So, we're going to take a quick Empower You community break, and we're going to talk about some of the events that are happening in Columbus, Ohio, and Erie, PA. So, first off, we are having our cool kids virtual vision board party. It's our first one. I've been doing vision boards for over 4 years, and I've always done one with my classroom. So now we are now stretching it out to our students and our youth, not just in Columbus, Ohio, but in Erie. And again, with COVID, everyone's now able to participate virtual. So there's going to be a virtual vision board party. It's going to be on Saturday, January 23rd. Tickets are on sale now for $10. You can go on the Cool Kids Club virtual vision board party on Facebook. Just click the link and you can purchase your ticket. Your child will get an emoji bag. They will get a Uno card. They will get a sweet treat. They will also get all the material. So even if you are out of the Columbus area, we will send all that info, all those fun things to you. And we call it the Eat, Create, and Have Fun. Out of all of our STEM, I think we're using our hands and everything again with the virtual is allowing our students to still continue to grow. We also have our fourth annual anti-bullying and fashion show. The model casting call in Columbus, Ohio is Saturday, January the 16th from 12 to 2 o'clock. It will be virtual, so come stretch yourself on the virtual runway. Come meet myself, Director Tracy Kane, and we are excited to see all the new faces. Even some old faces, come on back. We're going to have fun. The anti-bullying fashion show right now is still scheduled for Saturday, August 22nd, 2021, and we're keeping our fingers crossed that it will be in person. But if not, we already have all the dates for the Happy Virtual that are going to work this year. So if you want to check out that fashion show, just go on our Empower You Foundation Instagram page, and you can see the whole show. Kyle Meadows opened it up. It was amazing. We had a pop-up shop on Saturday. We had a balloon release. So it is a wonderful, again, week of full event for our youth ages 5 to 17. And as well as we are going to be stretching our community outreach services to Erie, PA. I'm so excited to be a part of PA. That is my hometown where my mom and my father grew up. With Rika Woodard, she is the director at the John F. Kennedy Center at 2021 East 20th Street in Erie, PA. We are having our first Erie anti-bullying and fashion show, and the casting call will be in person. But masks must be worn to the John F. Kennedy Center. When you come in, you will have a form that you will fill out. Please bring your children ages 5 to 17 and to come be a part of something. Our mission is we are a voice for youth against bullying. Our theme this year for both fashion shows is Dare to Be Different. A lot of this going on, again, cyberbullying is spiking, suicide is spiking. This is why I started my organization, because my daughter, again, I have an older daughter, 31. She has been dealing with bullying, so we changed schools. And then my middle daughter, she contemplated wanting to commit suicide. So, and now here she is, 22 years old. She is a junior at Central State. And so, again, having that support system is a blessing. And that's what we are here for, to be that voice, to give back to our community. and to be someone who needs help. We are a free service for the community, not just in Columbus, Ohio, but across the U.S. And we help our families who are experiencing any form of bullying to please contact us at 614-928-0016. Or you can find us online at www.empoweronyoutfoundation.org, and we will help you. We call it the 3Ps, the power, we call it the paperwork, and the purpose. And we will help you find a solution to any form of bullying that is happening in your community with your child that's happening at school, and we help you report it to the appropriate authority. So that is Empower Youth Community Corner. Those are all the events that are happening at the beginning of January. Again, there we have a full set of Cool Kids Club mentorship meetings that are going to be happening in Columbus, Ohio, and Erie, PA. So please support us. That's the greatest thing. You know what, Mrs. Crystal? Our information here is rolling across the my virtual screen. Make sure that you are supporting us. It's free. Support is free. Post and share it. Be a part of all the different communities that are out here. I think COVID for me, very Crystal and Tara too, is that it allowed me to grow. It allowed me to think outside the box. It allowed me to be I call my old Bible to say the classroom. It allowed me to just really flourish at this time because there was so many families that needed us. As well as I'm an educator. So if you need assistance on any virtual learning, I know Crystal probably give us some tips. I'm going to ask her about those. But contact us on Teacher in the Community, and we can give you some information on virtual learning because more than likely we'll probably start the beginning of the year up to the end of the school year virtually. So if you're needing any distance learning, again, how to get that college degree for free with Mrs. Crystal. We got some miracle mornings. There's so much information out there now that we are at kind of a standstill. Reach out, post, share. There's so many business owners, women-led business owners. I'm still a newbie, and I love it. So that is our Empower Youth Community Corner, and we're going to jump right back. So if you have just now tuning in, and make sure you replay this. You can find it on my personal page, Tanya Kelly MBD, as well as it's going to be on YouTube and Empower Youth Foundation's Facebook page. So make sure you go back and replay it. If you have any questions, you can leave your questions under the post, and then I'll make sure I can go to Ms. Crystal. So Ms. Crystal.
And I saw there was some questions in the chat on the Facebook page. So I'm going to answer the ones that people have for me. So you asking how to get my book, and how you can get my book is go to the link. It's crystalgoliday.com/shop. But if you go to the homepage, crystalgoliday.com, you'll see everything there. So my book is on the bottom, or you can go to the scholars tab, and there you'll also find the services that I offer for scholars, be it your child or be it you want to go back to school. And then other features like my speaking page and my mom talk, like my events and shows and all that other stuff. So that's there. And then the other question was, what were the top 5 majors that were in my book? That was from 2019. And they are business, communications, criminal justice, nursing, and psychology. Those were the top 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for my book. And I know someone else commented on Africa. So yes, beautiful spot, beautiful place to be at. I'm not sure if you could see anything else on your end, but that's what I was able to peep and see. Questions and comments.
Major goals that families, even students, should be doing after beginning at January 2021 to get those financial resources. Give us a few things. I never wanted to buy a book, but give us a few little tips that they can take with them as they start on their journey for college or high school, even juniors.
So what you need to start off with is an assessment of your family's financial situation. Because let's face it, with some families, parents are able to help out and some they're not. So you need to really get a true assessment, and parents, be real with your children. And be real with yourself. Can you take on the financial responsibility of your child going to school? And I know some parents, may take on loans and stuff like that. So that's one thing. Be real with your financial situation And know that even if your child's not going to college right now, it's never too early, and it's also never too late if your child is like senior year. Because like even with my nonprofit, Never Underestimate Knowledge, we gave away 5 scholarships last month. And then I told you about the scholarship December that was giving away $600,000. You know, so there's something every month that is going out. And I've been on the foundation side for one of the foundations with my sorority, and we were looking for people to get scholarships to for that particular chapter. And even with my scholarship, like the floodgates didn't open until close to the deadline. Like, plan accordingly. So that's one. Know your financial situation. Understand it's not too early, it's not too late. You just have to put in the work. And then you could like work with people like me, hire me, or, you know, get my book, look over my resources and the tips that I've shared, and I can make your life easier if you do work with me. But definitely you have to put in the work. So that's 2 things. And then also, if it's you that want to go to school, or your child wants to go to school, find out what their passion is. Like in my book, I have thought-provoking questions to really identify, and you see the journey that I went through. Like I went to school, I have my undergraduate degree in computer engineering. I have one of my masters in technology management. I have an MBA. So that's the technology and business side. I got that from, I love math. That was my favorite subject. I had an interest in science. So those 2 subjects, I researched majors that had a lot of math, right? But then I didn't want to be an accountant. I didn't want to do like hardcore math stuff or go into banking and stuff like that. And I wouldn't say hardcore math stuff. I didn't find those things exciting just to do those professions, but engineering had different disciplines. So then I did my research. And when I went to the school that I ended up going to, Drexel University, I asked one of the administrators there which major had the most math, and that was computer engineering. So you see the process of elimination. But if you would have asked me when I was younger what I wanted to be, it was a lawyer like my sorority sister and the actress Felicia Rashad. She was Claire Huxtable. I want to be a lawyer or a singer like Whitney Houston, but I think I could sing. But it's really set for my house, my shower, and my family album that'll come out. Goliday album. Take that. So over time, you want to ask, thought-provoking questions to figure out what their passion is, but then also, and your passion is, and put yourselves in those situations to do activities like we're home. There's a lot of different activities you could be doing to really get in tune with yourself and your child, because you're spending a lot of time together and you have time to be introspective and not have to travel from here to there unless you're an essential worker. So definitely understand your financial situation and be real about it. Because when you know your financial situation, you know how much money you need to get out there or come up with, right? Then also put in the work to do the research. Like, it's easier now. Like, people think it's not easy. It's easier now. I had a big old thick scholarship book that I purchased myself when I was younger, and I went through it, mailed people through USPS. You know, the USPS said you're not getting your packages on time. I mailed thinking I'm gonna get a response. Did I always get a response? No, but I was persistent and I utilized my network. And other people like knew what my intentions were. That's why I said raise your hand for help. Don't be like, oh, I'm gonna keep it to myself. I'm just gonna go off to college and figure it all out myself. No, there's people out there that went through the path. There's people out there that made mistakes that you don't have to make. And there's people out there, and that's why everybody should have a mentor, to have someone in a path or in an area that they want to be in, and they can guide them through the way and be the sounding board, and also have a sponsor in that particular area you want to go into so that they can bring you up. Like, I have sponsors in my corporate world, that when they go up, they look out for me like, oh, I'm going to this position. Oh, I think Crystal will be a great candidate to this. Because they know we're in tune. They know where I want to go. So have your intentions known. And there was a third thing I wanted to say, and maybe even a fourth, maybe even a fifth. There is apply for everything. Like, even if you don't meet all the requirements, because these organizations, they have money, they want to give it out. I was determined to give away 5 scholarships this year. Like, the scholarship that I gave away was in honor of my mom. And it was my way of celebrating her and the annual time that she left this earth. I know she's with me every day, spiritually, and in my heart, and in my and with me in spirit. But that's the way I wanted to honor her. So I wanted to give away 5 scholarships, and it shouldn't be organization had to pull teeth to try to find candidates. So apply for everything because you never know. And then also have your essay together. Have several different essays. So that's something that I work with the people I work with. And I also had somebody that I work with that is like, she offered her services to all of the scholars that apply for my scholarship, not just the 5, all of them that apply. And I did a webinar that if you sign up for my list, you get that webinar. I had a college expert on that too, as well as me providing tips about finding funding. So you see how my network is coming together and how I not only use it for myself, but I utilize it for others. So there's so many things I could keep going, but I think I gave you a little bit extra with 5. You asked for 3.
That's what we're needing, you know, again. It's all about knowing and where to go. And you just gave us some great gems because that's what our families are looking for again. We're at home. And so now we can do that research. I think a lot of us just didn't know, don't know where to go, don't know where to go, don't know who to ask. So you have given us some great tips and some great gems that we now can utilize for our starting event, having kindergarten. What we can do to start training them and giving them those extra information and tooling them now so that when they get to high school that they already know what they're going to do.
And then there's another thing I wanted to add, 2 things. So if your child is not even in school yet, or like I even heard even before they're born, but I'm gonna say when they're born, there's ways that you can start preparing for their funding. So it's never too early. And then even if you save and they get money from other sources, like my prince, he's gonna have other funding sources. That money can go for his housing, which could be a property that we purchase. It can go for things that are related to education in some type of way for him. So I don't want you to think that you have to wait, or like I'm preparing and I'm putting this money aside in this plan or whatever the case may be, then that's it. That's what they're going to use to go to school. You can use that in other ways. So that's one thing I want to say. And then secondly, you asked me about my passion with starting Never Underestimate Knowledge and also writing my book and stuff like that. I realized from a young age that there's an unequal disbursement of information. I realized this when I was going to prepare for my SAT, and someone a little bit taller than my prince was in there preparing for the SAT, and they were of a different hue than me. And I'm like, what are they doing here? Like, this is SAT prep. And the person that worked there was like, you can come at any age. Like, you can take the SAT multiple times. And this is me going when I had to take it. And I'm like, oh, shoot, I'm stressing for this one time when I could take it multiple times and put my highest verbal or my highest math score. And I didn't know that because my community didn't know that. My parents didn't know that. The people that were in my circle, they didn't know that. If they knew that, they didn't tell me because, people have the crabs in the barrel mentality sometimes. So I was then rushed to take the SAT 3 times. And yes, for my highest verbal and math score. But imagine the information I know now, where my prince is going to go, wherever he wants to go. Hey, his future is bright. Whatever he wants to do. And he could open up, a parking garage. And he's going to have the best parking garage and best business model because I'm his mama. So, because I understand college is not for everyone. But what I do appreciate with the college experience is that you learn so much more than your book. You learn about life. You learn about yourself. You learn about business, whatever it is. You learn about networking. Like, there's so many things you can learn about in an undergraduate capacity. And the fact that having a bachelor's is sometimes an entry rate and a ticket for you to even get into places. So that's something to think about. And why not get it for free?
What I was talking about, why get it for free? If I knew what I knew now, then I would have my degree for free. From my undergrad up to my master's, I would have it for free. So, wow, to kind of sum everything up, and again, this is the last week of 2020, and what that echo 1 year it has been. We all begin to show what's the word. So what's the word? What is your mantra, your daily affirmation that just gets you going? Share that with us. Share it with us so that we can take it into 2021.
Awesome. So I was actually quoted by my firm in a publication they did about me. And it was do your best and forget the rest. Now it's not in a, oh, I'm selfish and I'm out for myself. It's about the comparison game. Like, right? Especially with social media. We didn't grow up with social media like right now in this generation, even us. Like it's an adjustment for us. So we can look at someone's highlight reel that is on social media and do the comparison game or over analyzing what we're doing, waiting for that perfect time. Where it's like, no, you don't know what they did. Like the whole grass is greener on the other side. Yes, you don't know they had what type of fertilizer they had. You don't know what type of seeds they putting on there. You don't know what type of soil they have. Like you don't know all those things, right? And you don't know what photographer, what lighting, what tint, what whatever they have on, right? So get out of the comparison phase and just be in competition with you. It is crystal versus crystal. And yes, if you're in my ecosystem in my house, or I know Big Brother's always watching, you may see myself talking, me talking to myself sometimes, because sometimes I have to shake it off, talk to myself like, Crystal, you gotta do this. Like fear, what do you fear for? Face everything and rise. Not be fearful, oh, I'm not gonna do it because this is not the common thing, or somebody's gonna say something. Like I've lived in the time where it was a matter of, oh, what are people gonna think? Oh, this is what even my parents wanted me to do, or my older cousins, or whatever. No, I'm living for me, because only me, only Crystal Goliday can create Crystal's happiness. Not my husband, not my prince, not my best friend, not even the person that pays me from the corporate loan. They're not my clients, nobody. I create my happiness. That's why I have my miracle morning. I have my time with myself. I know what makes me happy. I spend time with myself. I do things like getting even my hair done. Like that's a pampering aspect to me. I do want to get my nails done before the end of the year, so we'll see if that happens. But just stuff that I know is for me. And it could be, we were talking about moms earlier, right? Drinking water, right? It's gonna have you run into the bathroom. So it's for anybody. Spend extra time in the bathroom by yourself. Even if you have kids knocking on the door, I'm doing number 2, or just whatever. Just spend that time by yourself in the tub, whatever. It can be 5 minutes. Like I know some people think, oh, my me time, or I have to do something for myself is like going to the spa and getting all the services, right? No. It can be extra 5 minutes in the shower, adding peppermint oil to your shower. It can be staying in the bathroom just a little bit longer, just to have some space and some time to think and speak to yourself, or whatever, meditate, whatever. Like find and make that time for you. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. Like there's no excuse. And the most successful people get up early. So join me in the morning. You can do it by yourself, and you can post too. Feel free to tag me, because you're going to see a post from me every day during the week about my miracle morning. I promise you that.
That's really my goal prior this week. I've been doing that miracle morning. I've been energized. I've been on the road. I've been getting up early because I've been off for the last 2 weeks, and I've been really like blasting up my dad for this week. Just watching him coach. I've been up early, moving, getting things going, getting some fresh air, even though I'm in a booth, just going outside and just really just thinking about like what I'm going to do. Like this 2021, this 2021 year. And it has really made me purpose. So thank you, Crystal, for just coming on our show, being a part of this Exalted Gym. Listen, if you're at the bottom, www.crystalgoliday.com. You will be able to find her books. If you want to be a part of Miracle Morning, if you need some assistance with the journey as a financial being mom wellness, she has a mommy wellness podcast. You can find her on Facebook and Instagram. You can find her everywhere. That's how I found her, and it has really enlightened me. And I wanted to share with my viewers and listeners who she was, because again, I was just like, wow. Sometimes we meet somebody to conduct an interview of this COVID-19, meeting and networking and learning about others and finding people that you probably would have never found back in February. And here we are in December, and I had to make sure you came on the show. So thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be a part of the Power on You Community Corner. Listeners, make sure you still putting those questions in after we're off the air, and you just put hashtag replay so that we can actually make sure I can get those questions to Ms. Crystal so that she can answer again.
And I'm gonna check it out too. So just know I'm gonna respond. I responded to the ones I was able to catch when you were giving your updates for your nonprofit. But I do want to say, like, at my website, you'll also see all my social media links. So definitely connect with me, follow me on Facebook, Twitter. I don't know how that goes. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, but also sign up for my email list. Like, as I mentioned, the one on the scholars page, if you sign up for that one, you'll automatically get that webinar that I was talking about that I did with a college admission expert. And then I give the tips there. I will be dropping the information for the internship shortly. So you may want to get on that. And then every page has a particular list that you could sign up for, like be it my Mom Talk page, which is a talk show that I have and platform for moms, those who are interested in motherhood and those who support us. I have, I talk about more mom stuff there. I have something on my nonprofit page you can sign up for. I have my speaker page. I have a whole lot of different things. My wellness, because I am into wellness. I've been a wellness coach since 2013 and an accountability person to help out. So it's like all the pages have different email lists you can chime into and connect with if you just want to get some information and connect with me. But my services are here too, and my book too. Definitely get that. And you can also support my nonprofit, because all the services and my book, the proceeds go to my nonprofit. Never underestimate knowledge. And we provide resources to inner city youth as well as domestic violence survivors, because I'm a part of both of those communities. And we have merchandise too. So it's the tumbler, the black tumbler, which is oh so sexy and cute. And then we also have wireless earbuds that's in a rechargeable case. And then we also have a planner, which starts this month, but it ends in January 2022. And it's the yellow for urgency. And as you see, I use it. I have one myself. So, and then my books, when you order it from my site, you get a signed hard copy. You get a signed copy from me. So, it's a lot of perks when you work with me. Not only you get the information that you need and help you along your journey, but when you need to be birthday stocking stuffers or whatever, and think they're useful things too. So let's stay connected. And I offer, my monthly membership group as well as my one-to-one consulting. I'm here. Like, I'm letting you know, I'm here. I don't want anybody to say they don't know what to do or whatever. You're watching this, you have me as a resource, reach out. And thank you so much for having me and sharing your platform with me. I wish everyone a safe, happy holidays and peace and blessings.
Thank you again. So again, this is the host, Tanya Kelly. This is the last week of the year. Be safe. Make sure you mask up. When you're going out, wash your hands. Make sure you're doing 6 feet distancing. And again, if you want to find more about myself and Empower Me Foundation, as well as Director Tracy King's Community Kids Club Mentorship, just contact us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can find us on Twitter. As well as just go to find all the links under www.empoweryouthfoundation.org. And that was part of my goal. I'm so excited. We are now a non-profit organization, 501c3. So, yeah!